For my project, I decided to focus on one of the most unique experiences of my life, living in Edinburgh, Scotland. From 7 to 11, I was surrounded by classical Georgian architecture. My home on Heriot Row was actually built for the elite of Scotland in the 1800s, with classical Georgian on the outside and a transition of styles on the inside. As you ascended from the dark and musty basement up to the open top floor next to the skylight, the atmosphere matched the environment. Heavy, dark, and cold at the bottom, light, free, warm at the top. In an attempt to recreate the original framework of the building, I use a lot of the original materials, especially the red pine, which was used for the joints and the inner structure. Most of the materials I would find at Home Depot, which had mainly the wood that I would require for this job. Luckily, the smaller pieces of wood they had fit the measurements I had made beforehand, which roughly revolved around 2 feet of measurement. My design process mainly revolves around measurements, as many as I can make and as close to exact as I can make them. I've always enjoyed taking those measurements and getting them as precise as I can get them, with past jobs and other creations of mine, learning that if anything is off even a millimeter, can create havoc for the rest of the project. And working with power tools has a unique feeling to it as well. Knowing that you're inches away from an injury while changing something that can't be changed by just your hands creates a powerful feeling in you as you're creating. Another aspect of the design process that I don't usually remember is how your project can evolve and change as you work on it. For example, something I hadn't considered before was the thickness of the saw blade and how it wouldn't be able to cut exactly where my measurement was. I then had to alter the measurements of my future pieces so that it would match the thickness of the cut. After finishing cutting pieces with the saw blade, I got to work on the stairs, which were the focal point of my memory of my old house. In reality, there were close to 99 stairs total for all 5 floors. But as you can imagine, with all the bedrooms on the top floor, the living and family rooms on the first floor, the office and dining room on the ground floor, the kitchen in the first basement, and the backyard and trampoline only accessible through the sub-basement, most of my memory of the Scotland home involves the stairs. So I decided to make that the main focus of my project. I only designed the top half of my house, starting with the ground floor and going up to the top floor, with 8 steps ascending from the ground to the first floor. And as you ascend further, the number of steps decreases, recreating that feeling of lightness as you got closer to the top. This project brought me closer to the home I once lived in, not just through wood and adhesive, but through exploring it with my memory and reminding myself that that was not just a time where I lived somewhere that wasn't in America, but a truly unique experience that affects how I perceive the world every day.